What if the
and
biggest names
Puffy
in hip-hop
wanted
didn't just
Biggie
climb to the
killed.
top, but left
Bottom
bodies
line,
behind to get there?
you don't have to believe me.
For
Believe the
years,
facts.
the internet dismissed
Here's
rumors
a
about a
man
secret elite
that
in the
wanted to
entertainment
leave
industry as
Bad Boy.
conspiracy talk. Stories about powerful figures allegedly sacrificing their own to stay on top were laughed off as fantasy. But now, one of hip-hop's most calculated voices is openly pointing fingers, 50 Cent. And this time, he's not just talking. According to 50 Cent, the public has been staring at the evidence for years and completely missing what it actually means. He claims the image carefully presented by Jay-Z is incomplete and possibly intentional. Behind the billionaire mogul persona, Fifth suggests there's a much darker story, one that allegedly involves rivals, former friends, and sudden downfalls that benefited only one side. And Jay-Z, according to these claims, is not taking the attention lightly. If you think this is just internet noise, stay with me, because once the names start stacking up, it gets uncomfortable fast. The first name that keeps coming up? DMX. DMX wasn't just another rapper. He was one of the most influential voices hip-hop ever produced. Raw, spiritual, unpredictable, and impossible to control. His death in 2021 was officially reported as a drug overdose, sending shockwaves through the industry and his global fan base. But almost immediately, questions started circulating online. Was it really just an overdose, or did someone benefit from DMX no longer being here? According to long-running rumors, DMX and Jay-Z had a complicated history that went back decades. Rivalry, competition, and tension dating all the way to the early 1990s in New York.
The first time I ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. He showed up as the nigga that was with Big L. Yes. Big L was who put Jay-Z on. And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z doing songs with Biggie and building a working camaraderie with Honeycombs. And then Biggie died, Tupac died. There was the fight between who was the top rapper now, Nas and Jay-Z. And then the next thing you know, Nas has a nervous breakdown and he's taken out of the game, and it's all Jay-Z. He will slump anyone in any relationship for $1. Look at how he did Dame. If you're a halfway intelligent person, when do you start questioning how lucky some motherfuckers keep getting?
Both men rose fast. Both wanted dominance, and not everyone made it out the same way. 50 Cent has openly suggested that Jay-Z, along with his wife, Beyonce, may have had indirect involvement in events surrounding DMX's financial struggles and eventual death. These are allegations, not proven facts, but they raise an unsettling question. Who gained the most after DMX was gone? Shortly after his passing, reports and rumors spread online claiming that Jay-Z and Beyonce had allegedly acquired or positioned themselves around DMX's music rights. If true, that would mean millions in future revenue, while DMX's children were left fighting over what remained. Again, no official confirmation was ever presented, but the timing alone was enough to fuel suspicion. And DMX himself, while still alive, had publicly accused industry figures of prioritizing money over loyalty, even hinting that some competitors would do anything to win. If those rumors about his masters were accurate, they would confirm DMX's worst fears. And according to 50 Cent, DMX isn't the only name on that list, because another artist Jay-Z has allegedly been accused of turning on was once considered his brother, Kanye West. Over the years, internet users have speculated that the most powerful figures in the entertainment industry aren't just successful, but protected. Allegedly part of an inner circle that eliminates its own members the moment they become inconvenient.
To get to the top, to become billionaires. There's no love there. See, what's done in the dark will definitely come in the light. Keep your threats up. I'm here today, and what I got to say, I'm gonna say it. So don't make idle threats to me. Cause see, I ain't Biggie. See, I ain't Beanie Siegels. I ain't Freeway. How you wrote all them off the minute they did for you to get you to the top.
For a long time, those claims were dismissed as conspiracy theories until one of hip-hop's most calculated voices decided to speak openly. 50 Cent. Unlike anonymous rumors, 50 Cent claims the evidence has always been public. People just don't know how to read it. According to him, Jay-Z didn't simply rise to the top through talent and timing, but allegedly benefited from the repeated downfall of artists who once stood close to him. And once you start connecting those moments, the polished image of the billionaire mogul begins to look incomplete. One name that refuses to disappear from this conversation is DMX. Officially, DMX passed away in 2021 due to a drug overdose, shocking fans across the world. But almost immediately, questions followed. Was it truly accidental, or was his death convenient for someone else? DMX and Jay-Z had a long, complicated rivalry going back to the early 1990s in New York, where both men were competing for dominance. Their relationship deteriorated as money, power, and influence took priority, and according to 50 Cent, DMX was under extreme financial pressure toward the end of his life. Shortly after DMX's death, rumors began circulating online claiming that Jay-Z and his wife, Beyoncé, had allegedly positioned themselves to benefit from DMX's music catalog.
Oh, we don't know. What you mean you don't know? How do you listen to a whole album, pick a single, shoot a video, then don't know? Okay, I see what's really good. You're trying to eliminate the competition, because at first you retire, then get me off the label, now you're back rapping again. Okay, it's all good. It's all good.
These claims were never officially confirmed, but if true, they would mean millions in future revenue, while DMX's children were left fighting for what remained. Even while alive, DMX had accused industry figures of valuing money over loyalty, suggesting some competitors would do anything to win. To 50 Cent, the timing alone raised uncomfortable questions. And DMX, according to these claims, wasn't the only one. Another artist frequently mentioned is Jay-Z's former protege turned rival, Kanye West. Once celebrated as a visionary, Kanye's public breakdowns, industry isolation, and repeated controversies led many to label him unstable. But others believe he became a problem only after he started speaking openly about powerful people in entertainment. Comedian Dave Chappelle has openly suggested that Kanye crossed lines the industry doesn't forgive, implying that those who challenge the system are often discredited, isolated, or silenced. Chappelle has spoken from personal experience. He has described walking away from massive deals after feeling controlled and pressured, explaining how the industry often uses character assassination when distancing doesn't work. According to him, if someone can't be controlled, they're labeled unstable, medicated, or dismissed entirely.
He is a monster. Is akin to killing him.
Kanye's warnings about the industry sacrificing artists were ignored at first, written off as madness. But now many fans are reconsidering. And once people start questioning that pattern, the conversation doesn't stop there. Some theorists even connect these suspicions to Tupac Shakur, pointing to unresolved rivalries and long-standing tensions from the 1990s. These claims remain unproven and speculative, but they persist because the same question keeps coming back. Too many legends, too many sudden downfalls, and too few people who actually lose when it happens. According to 50 Cent, coincidence stops being coincidence once the same names keep surviving, and the same types of artists keep disappearing. In recent years, Snoop Dogg has shared insights that added even more fuel to the long-running tension surrounding Tupac Shakur and Jay-Z. According to Snoop, the friction between the two wasn't just about music, it went much deeper. He has suggested that Jay-Z always understood exactly how dangerous Tupac was as a cultural force, not just as a rapper. Tupac's rise wasn't slow or calculated, it was explosive. From the moment he appeared, his impact was immediate. Very few artists could match his raw skill, emotional range, and presence, and even fewer could compete with the way he connected with people.
Psychotic medication. Yeah, like I'm sitting around, I was stressed out, but the people that were telling me I was insane, I believe.
Snoop has openly said that if Tupac were still alive, many of today's biggest rap stars might not have reached the level of success they enjoy now. Tupac wasn't just talented, he was magnetic. His charisma, authenticity, and emotional depth made him impossible to ignore. According to Snoop, Tupac helped set the standard that artists like Jay-Z later built upon. In that sense, Tupac didn't just dominate his era, he shaped the future of hip-hop itself. There has long been talk that Jay-Z and Tupac eventually moved past their rivalry, but not before tensions reached a boiling point. Snoop revealed that Jay-Z once recorded a diss track aimed at Tupac, but chose not to release it after Tupac's death. The reason given was respect. The track was reportedly performed once, but never officially dropped, because Tupac was gone. Still, people close to the culture have pointed out how intense the competition really was. Tupac dominated charts, crowds, and attention in a way that few artists ever have. Even rival rappers admitted he was the most popular figure in the game. According to long-standing rumors, Tupac's influence extended far beyond music, including his appeal to women, which only added to the mythology around him. Some speculative theories go even further, suggesting jealousy may have played a role. Unverified claims have circulated that Beyoncé admired Tupac, and that if he had lived, their paths could have crossed in ways that intensified existing rivalries. These claims remain pure speculation, but they continue to circulate because of the personalities involved and the era they came from. And once these conversations start, they rarely stop with Tupac.
You know, because at first you retire, then get me off the label, now you're back rapping it.
Some theorists have gone as far as dragging 50 Cent into similar discussions, even accusing him of involvement in the death of the Notorious B.I.G. There is no evidence supporting those claims, and they remain internet speculation, but they highlight just how deeply people distrust the power structures of the industry. At this point, nothing has been proven in court, and no definitive answers exist. What remains are patterns, unanswered questions, and voices from inside the culture saying the same thing over and over again. Hip-hop didn't just lose legends, it lost them under circumstances that still don't sit right with fans, and that's why these stories refuse to die. The death of the notorious B.I.G. remains one of the most disturbing and unresolved cases in music history. Decades later, it still sits at the center of endless speculation, unanswered questions, and theories that refuse to fade. Despite investigations, documentaries, and official statements, no one has ever been held accountable, leaving a vacuum where suspicion continues to grow. That vacuum resurfaced publicly during a panel discussion honoring what would have been Biggie's 50th birthday. The event was organized by the streaming platform Tidal and featured several high-profile figures from the industry. Sean Diddy Combs was present, while the conversation was moderated by Elliott Wilson, Tidal's chief content officer. Other artists, including Fat Joe, also participated. During the discussion, the deaths of both Biggie and Tupac Shakur inevitably came up. When it was Jay-Z's turn to speak, his tone was reflective. He described himself as a student of the game and explained that after losing Biggie and Tupac, the focus shifted toward preserving the culture and pushing it forward. He referred to their deaths as an enormous void, emphasizing that hip-hop lost two pillars almost back-to-back, something the genre had never experienced before. Jay-Z went on to say that it wasn't just him who tried to step up in the aftermath, but multiple artists who attempted to carry the culture forward in their own ways. Still, the weight of that moment was undeniable. Losing two of the most dominant figures in hip-hop within such a short span left the industry directionless and vulnerable. Diddy followed up by openly praising Jay-Z, stating that he filled the shoes during one of the most critical periods in hip-hop history. He said that Biggie and Jay-Z respected each other deeply and looked up to one another, describing their relationship as mutual admiration rather than rivalry. According to Diddy, Jay-Z had to shoulder an immense responsibility after losing two artists who had the game locked down creatively and commercially. Diddy went even further, explaining that while Jay-Z was coming up, Tupac and Biggie were simply on another level, culturally, artistically, and in terms of influence. And when both were suddenly gone, that responsibility landed on Jay-Z to help keep the art alive and moving forward. In Diddy's view, Jay-Z didn't just maintain hip-hop, he elevated it beyond where it had been. But those comments didn't sit comfortably with everyone. Almost immediately, fans online began questioning whether Jay-Z was simply filling a void or replacing it. Some wondered whether his post-1997 rise was organic or whether the timing itself raised uncomfortable questions. Others went much further, reviving long-standing rumors suggesting possible involvement by Jay-Z or Diddy in Biggie's death. There is no evidence to support these accusations, but the fact that they persist speaks to the level of distrust many fans feel toward the industry's power structure. Adding to the unease is the widely acknowledged fact that Jay-Z spoke with Biggie by phone shortly before the 1997 shooting in Los Angeles that took his life. Jay-Z has publicly confirmed that call, stating that they were close during the early 1990s and maintained contact. For many fans, that final conversation has become one of the most haunting details of the case, not because it proves anything, but because it underscores how close everyone involved really was. What continues to fuel speculation is what followed next. After the deaths of Tupac and Biggie, Jay-Z's career entered a completely new phase. His influence expanded rapidly, eventually turning him into one of the most powerful figures in music and business. Later, artists like 50 Cent would rise in an industry landscape that no longer included its two most dominant voices. None of this proves foul play. But for many fans, the sequence of events is difficult to dismiss as coincidence. Too many legends disappeared in a short window of time. Too many careers shifted dramatically afterward, and too many questions were left unanswered. That's why these conversations never fully go away, because hip-hop didn't just lose icons, it lost clarity. And until the truth is fully known, the shadows left behind by Tupac and Biggie will continue to shape how people view everything that came after. If this breakdown made you think, take a moment to like the video. It helps this story reach more people. Subscribe for more deep dives into hip-hop's most controversial moments. And most importantly, tell us in the comments what you believe, coincidence or something deeper. Also, let us know where you're watching from. It helps us see just how far these stories travel.